Hi, this is Sally Morgan, craniosacral therapist, Tellington T-Touch practitioner, and physical therapist for animals and people. And this is an episode of Conversations with a Corgi. And this is Tristan. He was sitting up, and he's a Corgi. And this is Conversations with a Corgi. Do you have anything to say? He's pretty quiet today. So I had a massage yesterday, and as much as you want to say you feel wonderful after a massage, my body is disorganized. This left shoulder is typically problematic, and it's even more so today. I have been working on it all morning with wraps and T-touches and the bubbles in my jet tub, and it is still just not happy. I cannot find a comfortable place to put it because those muscles have been so tight for so long. They just don't know what to do to keep my posture up. It's much better than it was this morning. But sleeping on it, etc., all not so good. So I've been using some essential oils on it, and hopefully it will recover. This morning, I want to continue our discussion of wraps for people with the Sumo Wrap. And it really does look like what it sounds like. It looks like what a sumo wrestler would be wearing. Oh, by the way, this is Tamsin Arabes' horse that she sent me. I don't know if you can see him. He does look like a piece of amethyst. He's so pretty, and I'm so grateful for her for making such beautiful things. So, and if you want information about her, go directly to her. Some people ask me, but I don't have access to her things, so just look up her name. It's pretty unusual, and she's easy to find, and she has a store on Etsy and on Facebook. So the Sumo Wrap is a really good one for anyone who has tension in their hips, the pelvis, the hip flexors, the hip joints, because it really is focusing on your hips. I think it's also a really good one for people with issues in their sacrum, their low back, L5, S1 area, because it does really encompass all those areas. And for anyone who has a leg length discrepancy, either functional or structural, this is a great wrap for that as well, because it brings a new awareness to the upper part of both legs. And your legs really should swing freely from your hips when you walk. A lot of people basically are falling every step they take because they're not rotating in their hips and pelvis the way you should when you walk. It should be a very light, easy kind of movement in your hips for you to walk. And for a lot of people and animals, that's not true. A lot of horses in particular that I've seen, because we ride them in circles around an indoor arena, it's pretty easy to see horses, especially as I described in my book at the first team clinic I was ever at. Sorry, we've got a bit of a glare here, and all the towels I have hanging in the kitchen windows are not stopping them. In fact, it was quite amazing at my very first team clinic to watch how horses went around the corners of the arena. And there really were horses that would just be so unbalanced going around a turn that they were literally falling onto their front legs, stumbling, throwing their heads up in the air, trying to keep their balance because of issues with the saddle, their feet, the rider, or their fears or body issues. So improving your gait is always a good thing, no matter you're a horse or a person. And for a lot of us who have had to lift a lot of things or carry a lot of heavy things, this wrap is good because it can really put a lot of tension on your spine. And for somebody like my niece Gwen, who does sort of powerlifting, this would be a great wrap for her to use after a competition, just to bring some peace and quiet to the areas of her body that she's used really hard when she's been lifting things. So for this, I'm going to use two 3-inch wraps. I have a green one and a blue one, and I will put this wrap on me. It's going to be a little hard for you to see, but I did wear my yoga pants today so that you might have a chance to see what this looks like. So you start by putting the middle of the wrap around the base of your spine. It's going to be pretty exciting here to do this while we're sitting down. Bring the wrap from around the base of your spine. Bring the wraps forward around your hips and to the front of your thighs, and then back between your legs. And then you cross them in the front. And attach them at the back. And woohoo, I have a Velcro back there. Perfect. So I will move this so you can possibly see. So I have the wrap. It started on my back, went down around my hips between my legs. It's a little racy. And then back up and around so that it makes a cross in the front. So it really does look like a sumo wrestler. You can see it on the side, and it's just crossed in the back on my low back. So to make this more clear, I have a little skeleton here who Sally Swift always used one of these fellows, and she called hers Herman. Mine is named Jerry after a favorite teacher I had in physical therapy school. That was Jerry with a G. And sadly, we lost Jerry to breast cancer a few years after our program ended. And I was really sad to hear this because I really just thought she was a great teacher. So the poor little guy, he's had some problems. He's lost a finger. He's got a serious knee problem here. He has ridden a lot of horses and been to a lot of craniosacral classes and a lot of PT clinics. So for this little fellow, I just need one wrap, and I'm going to find the middle of it, and I'm going to start on his low back, the way I did on myself. Swing the wrap around to the front. It's too bad he doesn't have a little bit more body. An American Girl doll who would be perfect for this. I don't have one. I have their Corgi. So you bring the wrap then around the front of the legs. Get your arms up there, Jer. Kind of like a diaper. Cross it in the back. And then back around to the front, where it's also crossed because we have so much wrap. And then around and tie it up again. Now because he's so skinny, this isn't working out as well as I had wanted it to, for you to be able to get a visual on this, but you can kind of get an idea of how this is covering the hips here. Move your arms, buddy. And then it goes around through the middle. Probably easier to see on me. So again, this is a wrap that's really good when you have tight hips or unlevel legs, or if you've been doing a lot of muscular effort with your low back or your thighs, and you need to bring a little awareness and relief to these areas. And for me, this wrap is feeling really supportive and good this morning because a lot of my shoulder things are related to my hip problems. Tristan would like to add that we had a tick again this morning on the sofa. Boy, thank God for that fleece blanket I have. It's very light blue. It's almost white, and it's very fine, thin, soft fleece. And the ticks really like it, so it's good because it's easy to see them and catch them there. But in spite of the fact, Tristan is full of cedar, and I don't know how they get on me. I don't see them on me or him when we come in. We do a thorough inspection. But this bugger was crawling around on the fleece this morning, and so we had to get rid of him. And Tristan also had a great walk yesterday with his girlfriend Coco. I'm going to post a picture of her. He says, "Where is she?" They love each other so much, and it's so funny. When I walk by her house, she barks at her front door, and he runs over to see her, and then they have a reunion. Are you really looking for her? She's not here, honey. They have a reunion and run around together, and their favorite thing is to go on a walk together, but they seem to not really pay that much attention to each other. It's not like they're running around barking and playing together like two puppies, but they really do like each other a lot. Tristan gets really upset if I walk by her house and we don't stop in, and she similarly pulls her owner right up to my front steps trying to get to see him. So they are the same age, the same size, and they are so cute together. She's a Cairn Terrier. She has a little black face with a brindle body, and she's got kind of a long coat right now, so she is super cute, and she has cute little pants. Isn't she adorable, Biss? Of course, he has his Corgi love, Dory, in New Jersey, a little black and white Corgi who he will be seeing at the Corgi picnic. They have a cordial rapport, I must say. They don't know each other that well. They've been pen pals, but when he was scared last year, when he was at the Corgi picnic with Dory, boy, suddenly the dog that he was snarking was his best friend ever, and he was like practically climbing on top of her when he was afraid. So he does have some respect for his girlfriend Dory, who saved him from scary things. So I'll say this wrap is helping me tilt my pelvis under me. If you have trouble doing half halts on your horse and understanding what that motion really is about, I would try putting this wrap on, and it actually would be perfect over riding pants. I don't know if you can see it again. It's just around, crossed in the front, and then down around both legs. And it really is like a sumo wrap. It's not that easy to see on Facebook Live, but it's such a great wrap. I wanted to make sure I included it. And it's a good precursor to understanding the wrap that's going to go down your legs, which we'll do another time. Maybe not this weekend. Maybe next week we'll do the leg wraps for people. And there's many ways to use the wraps on people's legs. So this wrap, again, as I said, is really good for people that have hip problems. And that could be from your psoas muscle, which comes from the middle of your low back and then goes down through your hip and down to your knee. It's a big muscle. It's the one you feel when you're going up and down stairs. And if you have problems in that muscle, you have a lot of weird issues because it is so big. It attaches to your back and wraps around through your hip and goes all the way to your knee. So you can have a lot of pains and aches and misalignments related to the feeling of a problem in your psoas. And I pulled mine really badly this winter, carrying a heavy suitcase up the stairs and just muscling it up with my right leg, which was my right psoas. Going upstairs carrying a very heavy bag was not a good idea, and resting it on my leg. So I had a lot of trouble with that, and it really has been, knock on wood, a lot better since I was in Maryland and used the Beamer and rested it. I really had to stop walking for my daily exercise because the hip was so sore. And it started when I had that little slip on the ice, which Tristan saved me from absolutely falling in. It was my left foot that went out from under me, so I was standing on my right leg. I pulled a hammy on it was the right leg that went out from under me, so I pulled a hammy on my left side, and my right low back got pulled down. And it wasn't like much of a fall. People walking with me might not have even noticed that I had a slip, and I didn't fall down. But boy, all the muscles in my body were sore after that. And, you know, part of that kind of injury comes when you're walking outside and it's cold weather. Your muscles are already short and tight. And so when you have to engage them quickly to stop you from falling or tripping, boy, they just, as you get older especially, they are not warmed up. And even if they were physically warmed up, this was at the end of my walk, they weren't temperature-wise warm. And so they just spasmed when I pulled my legs into, 100% use to keep my body upright. Tris, what do you have to say today? Anything? No? You have to see how he's sitting. He's being really cute. And I've been looking ahead to what we have coming on our Facebook Lives because we're going to be wrapping up the T-Touch wraps pretty soon. And I think we'll go right into flower essences and look at some of the different properties of the flower essences and maybe then move into some essential oils. Although I'm really anxious to talk about the work I do with tuning forks because a lot of people don't know about that, and it's really interesting, powerful work. And also emotion code work is something else that's really powerful that I do long distance work with. And there's lots of information about that online. And I will be doing a live interview with my sister on her radio show on June 25th, which is in fact her birthday. She's a Cancer, a crab, and I'm a fish. So, and that will be at 6 o'clock, and that will be broadcast live in the Eastern Mass area, which is great for me. So we have to decide what kinds of things we want to talk about for that show as well. And Tristan, I don't know. I don't think you'll be in that interview. I'm not sure. Maybe. He did a great job yesterday too. I had to get some special Father's Day cards in the mail for some people I know that won't be in town during Father's Day, and I said, as I came racing in the house at noon, because that's when the mailman comes, I said, Tristan, you have to tell me when the mail truck comes today, really important. So he came flying down the stairs from upstairs. He went to his post in the office where he sits on the sofa, and he kept a sharp eye out, and as soon as that truck was coming up the road, he went into outrageous barking, which was exactly what I needed, and I had just enough time to slap the stamp on and run down and get those in the envelopes and in their boxes in the mailbox in time for them to go out. So Tristan was very excited about that big job he had yesterday. So the wrap that I'm wearing today is called the Sumo Wrap. It looks pretty much like a sumo wrap diaper type thing. It goes around your waist and around your thighs, and you can either have it coming from the front of your thighs to the back or from the back of your thighs to the front, depending on where you want to start your wrap. I started mine in the back of me. You can also start it in the front. And you wrap it around your legs and then up and back around your waist. And it's to help you find awareness in your hips, pain, tension, and stiffness in the hip area and the low back area in the pelvis can be relieved with this wrap, the Sumo Wrap. So I encourage you to give it a try if you have some wraps at home, and then you'll understand when you need it where you have to put the wrap. So this is Sally Morgan and Tristan Corgi for another episode of Conversations with a Corgi, where today we looked at the Sumo Wrap. I think there's a tick in his arm. Have a great day, everyone. It's going to be 78 here in New England with some more clouds and showers later, but it is definitely moving towards those 90-degree days we're having next week when it really will be summer. So have a great day.